What is up, everyone, and welcome back to take two. This is take two of the live stream. I just kind of realized, Nate, what the problem might be here.
What?
I don't know if this is true or not, but we might be out of storage on the stream, the streaming platform we're using. And I think I didn't delete enough broadcasts before going live, which is potentially why it was having a tough time transmitting it.
Oh, can I leave the studio and delete?
No, I just deleted some stuff. So let us know if you're in here right now. Is the audio okay? If you're watching this afterwards, if you're listening to the podcast afterwards, we went live once. The audio was terrible. People are like, you got one audio out here, and now this is take two. Talking about the national pre-show. And if you weren't here, just to let you all know, Mike Trout is collecting cards now. We're not going to spend too much time on that, but he might have been for a bit, obviously. But they asked him last night on Sunday Night Baseball, and so he's building a collection for a ton. Sounds better so far. Okay, we're good to go.
Does it sound better for both of us? Or is it just Aaron?
Well, it says can actually hear you now. I think that they'd be like, Nate, you stink. Nice, Nate. Gotta mess with people. All right, sounds good now. I'm glad that worked out. I'm starting to sweat over here with trying to figure out why the audio is not working. But once again, Midwest Monster, Indianapolis, this Friday and Saturday. If you're in the Midwest area, please come out. It'll be a great time. 350 plus tables, tons of sponsors.
That's
tons
huge.
Of big card shops coming. What do you say?
That's huge. I didn't realize it was going to be that big.
Oh, it's going to be a big show, man. It's going to be a big show. It's going to be a very, very fun time. So I'm excited for it. It should be a great time, and hopefully see a lot of you there if you're in the Midwest area or if you want to travel in.
Real quick, look at that. Look at that absolute premium positioning there.
Right at the middle bottom.
Like Boom. Nothing. Middle bottom just attracts the eyes.
Especially with the super neon green, too.
Yeah.
Maybe
it just attracts my eyes because I'm biased, though. So
that's right. The Warriors played tonight. We got a prediction Warriors by 20 from Nick Foles. Last night's PWCC weekly auction number 21. We put together a build your portfolio here. There's 9 different cards, 3 in each budget tier: $5,000, $1,000, and $100. As you can see, we've got the Wander Franco 2022 Bowman Chrome Orange Auto at 25, PSA 10, the McGregor Rookie Auto or First Edition Auto, and the Quad Auto of the Warriors with Curry and Draymond Green and Iguodala and Harrison Barnes up there at the top tier. If you're in the YouTube comments right now, feel free to drop a comment and pick which of those 3 you'd rather have. And also in the $1,000 range, it's the Burrow Immaculate RPA Collegiate 25 SGC 9, Thaddeus Young Gold Prism PSA 10, Messi Blue Ov 199 Insert World Cup Stars PSA 9, and then the $100 range, it's a Baker Mayfield Draft Picks Contenders Auto at 15, Rookie Gleyber Torres 2017 second Bowman Auto PSA 10. Well, not second Bowman, but just non-first auto. And then out of 499, and then Ovechkin Dazzlers PSA 10 from like 2020 Upper Deck. Nate, pick your 3 here.
All right. Well, the top one is easy for me. Wander all day long. Orange Auto. Come on. The second and third, significantly more difficult because I don't like any of them.
I think that's kind of what the Instagram comments were. Like, give me Wander and nothing else.
Yeah. So Wander for sure. At that point, I guess I take the names, Messi and Ovechkin, but I do it begrudgingly.
I see. I'm definitely on the Wander train here, although that Quado is super sick, but if it didn't have Harrison Barnes, it'd be even cooler.
Did you just say Quad Auto or Quado?
Quad Auto. But I probably
because I think we're onto something if you said Quado.
We should start calling them Quados.
We should.
I love that. That's a good name. Can we copyright that, trademark that, whatever you got?
Trademarked. Anybody that says Quado from now on, you owe me a penny.
That's a terrible deal for you. Joe Burrow or Messi. I love 2012 Prism Golds, but I mean, Thaddeus Young. I really want that card. Probably not. The Messi's an insert, which is the only thing that has me hesitant, but is from that 2014 World Cup set. I think I go the Messi with the best chance to gain value. The Burrow is super sick. I actually commented the Burrow on Instagram. The Burrow is my favorite card there, but from like an investment standpoint, probably the Messi. And then I got to take the Baker. I'm still riding with my guy Baker. I don't care. The Dazzlers Ovechkin's pretty cool. Did you pick one of the? Sorry, oh, you picked.
Yeah, I said I'll go with names Messi and Ovechkin.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Though I gotta say Baker's in a really interesting spot because I don't think he will play with the Browns next year, even if Deshaun is suspended. Like I just think he would refuse.
Yeah, no, I think he will. I think he will refuse.
And so then it's like, what happens there? I don't think the Browns would want to trade him because they'd want him to play.
I have no idea what happens. We'll just have
Tricky
to wait and see,
situation.
I guess. You're completely right. Definitely an interesting situation. So early votes on Instagram have got going from $100 to $5,000. 46% of the votes for the Ovechkin, like Nate picked. 57% of the votes for Messi, like Nate picked, and then 42% for the Quado. The Quado of Curry, Iguodala, Barnes, and Green.
Wow. Okay.
Now, Nate, remember this was also like 15 minutes of voting here.
Also, like, I mean, you getting Draymond Green and Curry, Iguodala, same card for like a Warriors fan.
Yeah.
That's a dream.
Hushroom is in the house. It's Joshua Simons. I'm the Brewers, Packers, Bucks fan that always says Keston for MVP. Change my YouTube name. Well, welcome. Thanks for making it very clear. Keston for MVP can only come from a few people, and one of them being Nate.
It's true.
All right. So transitioning into the bigger part of today's stream, we are going to be talking about people's favorite sports card memories. We've got about 15 different ones to share here from other people, and then we'll also share some of our own favorites. This post that we put up was from last week. I think it was on Saturday morning. And if you haven't joined yet, feel free to go onto Instagram and join this giveaway. It is we just hit 60,000 followers on Instagram last week, and that was pretty big number. That I know that the numbers don't mean everything, but just really does represent how long the journey's been now, 4 years, and how many people have jumped in to talk about cards, which makes us super excited to see this many people being impacted by it. And this post in particular had nothing to do with tagging friends and following or anything. It's really just, hey, comment your favorite sports card memory, and you'll be entered to win this sweet little SlabStox and Topps care package here. The Topps backpack, a Topps hat. I love my Topps hat. I have that same Topps hat. I wear it all the time. Robert Lewandowski, green of 99, and Ryan Sandberg auto on card 50 from the Topps Premier Party, and then some stickers there too. So pretty cool giveaway.
And if you're bald like me, just don't even apply, because those hats will not look good on you.
You need the ones with the fitted front if you don't have hair.
You need hair for those hats.
You do. Luckily, I've got it. Hopefully, some of the other haired people out there have got want the hat too. We gotta get Nate in a picture with one of those. It looks so funny.
It looks so bad.
I'd laugh.
I'll shave my beard for charity and then put one of those hats on.
Oh my, that would be brutal.
That'd
be funny though, and awesome. And Dwayne says, "You are not bald, Nate. You are follically challenged."
I like it.
So we're gonna read through
spin on it. Thank you, Dwayne.
Always positive spin. We're going to read through some of these comments that were on this post. As you're listening here, feel free, please do comment what your favorite sports card memory is, and we'll keep track and read some of them off from the YouTube comment section as well. We just really want to spread as much hobby positivity as possible, and I do feel like reading some of these comments off so you can hear from other people and how much they enjoy the hobby and why just helps do that. And also through you all watching and commenting your favorite sports card memories, I think it'll do the same. First one here we have from Bombeck Sports Cards, or Bombeek back. No, I think it's Bombeck Sports Cards. Pulling a Tom Brady rookie with my birthday money when I was 10 years old. Had no idea how big of a card it was going to be, but it's one that I'll keep forever and pass down to my kids. Nate, if you pulled a card when you're 10 years old, like which you probably did at least somewhat before that, is there any chance that you would even still have one of those?
The chance I have cards I pulled when I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old is 100%. I have all those cards because we would look up the prices and back it. We'd be like, oh, this Tim Couch card I found in the Lego bucket that is just absolutely beat up, $4, you know?
Yeah.
Of course, you're not considering that the corners are gone and there's a crease in it. You're just like, 6-year-old Nathan is rich, $4 Tim Couch card. And we didn't actually sell those cards. So they are still all around. They're just all really in bad shape.
I was going to ask you, and follow-up would be, if you did have those cards, what would they grade?
Like, I had this was a little bit older at this point, but I was a little bit older at this point, but I had, like a Ben Roethlisberger rookie type thing.
Yeah. What would it grade?
Oh, it would probably grade it like a 7. It's actually one of the better in shape cards.
I got you. I got you. So thank you for Bombeck Sports Cards for commenting that. Love that comment. I feel like so many of these memories for myself and other people obviously come from the youth. It reminds us of our childhood, something we started when we were younger. A lot of us, and even if you're older and started too, I'm sure 30 years from now, 10 years from now, you look back and remember right now as your start to your collection. From El Globetrotter, saving up all summer 1996 to buy a box of Fleer Metal basketball come fall. Got my first box and pulled my favorite rookie that season, Allen Iverson. That is a pretty cool comment. Imagine being back in 96 and being able to open the first, not the first metal basketball set. Well, no, maybe it was. Either way, opening a metal basketball set all the way back then and then pulling that rookie just to think, man, maybe 20 years later or 25 years later, do you know how many people are buying those Allen Iversons and Kobe's when everyone's jumping in doing the last dance? It's just crazy to look back on that. Very cool. Thank you, El Globetrotter, for the comment. From our guy Andrew, St. Croix Cards, coming back to the hobby after a long laugh and meeting some absolutely amazing people. This is another trend that you'll see when you hear favorite sports card memories from people, different collectors. A lot of the time it has to do with the second part, which is meeting some absolutely amazing people. I know not everyone can get out to card shows, or maybe not everyone engages with different people on social media, but it is, such an important part, and we try to harp on it and talk about it as much as we can, is that the people in the hobby really do take this thing places. It's the reason why a lot of us, collect and do this every day, is because it's so much fun to connect with other people. And I do agree with that a lot. Other than Nate, I kind of am mad that I have to connect with him every day on this, but whatever.
It's true. Very nice of you, because my story I was going to share at the end highly involves you in a positive light, but here we are, just throwing me under the bus. Goodness gracious. Here I am, a good friend to Aaron. Here's Aaron's friendship to me.
Well, it was a joke.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I always wonder if there's ever first time listeners that jump in don't know that we give each other crap all the time. They're like, oh man, these guys really don't like each other.
He's so amazing.
This is a fun one. I definitely think that this is one that a lot of people can relate to. From Goat Whisperer, my favorite sports card memory is being in a Revolution basketball break with at Showtime cards. It was Kobe Bryant tribute night. Kobe had passed away only a few days before. I predicted a Kobe Bryant autograph card would be pulled and that Kobe would come through in the clutch one more time. To everyone's surprise, the Kobe Bryant autograph was pulled. There wasn't a dry eye in the building as the loss was so fresh. A Kobe auto hadn't been pulled in a break there in years. It was an amazing, bittersweet moment. Mamba hit the box break winner in the clutch. It was an amazing, emotional moment I'll never forget. We talked about this actually Sunday night for a second, but sports card packs are really, really, really like a lifeline of this hobby, which is why I think it also gets so much discussion when we see sports card boxes that are so expensive, Prism releasing in $1,600, a hobby box for 2021 NFL, because so many people came up and opened packs when they're younger or open packs with their kids. And it just, sometimes when the prices do get so high, it's just kind of that element was starting to maybe fade away for a lot of people that used to get involved in that way, especially kids. But there are sets that are obviously being produced in higher quantities, like 2022 Top Series 1, that have been hanging around Targets and Walmarts, which is really important. But here's just obviously another element of opening packs and how it can get people really excited and bring on emotion. That's one of my sports card memories I have to share later too, is around opening packs. We'll read one from the audience right now from Tech. Tech says, I'm 36 years old, still have a binder of NFL, MLB, soccer, Marvel cards at my mom's house. It was super fun and nostalgic going through it on my recent visit home. I'm even going to take a shot at grading some. There you go. I think that's also another thing, connecting with family members is huge. At least for myself, it's like my, entire family's life pretty much, which is amazing. And Nate family too, for me, not blood related, but known him since I was born pretty much. So I guess
I do not think when I met your brother for the first time, I was probably 3. I don't think you were born yet.
No, probably not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there hasn't been a moment during my life that I haven't been in proximity of you in some fashion.
True.
Which is rather unfortunate.
Wild and also like just absolutely unfortunate for you.
So unfortunate. Imagine having to know you not only for right now doing SlabStox, but all these years before this too.
Classic.
Bazooka Tom, my son just turned 7 and I have bought all of his biggest posts from him and stashed them away because he wants to sell like I do when I set up at shows. That is awesome. When you say bought, are you meaning you bought them from him so you can go buy more cards and then you're also going to allow him to sell them and then also get more money? Because that kid is doubling up in a big way right now. If so, that's really fun though. I like that idea. Just digging it. As a kid in the 80s and 90s, I lived in Florida and would go to Jupiter, Florida, where they play spring ball and meet so many players like most of the Braves. That's awesome. You ever get them to sign anything? Well, new comment, would get balls signed, but later on would play baseball with them. That's funny, dude. That reminds me of Jimbo. I was about to say Jimbro, but Jimbro Cards on Instagram. He posted the thing about the Pudge Rodriguez things he bought for like at the charity auction. And he said he'd wear Pudge Rodriguez's the catcher gear that he wore, that Pudge wore in the games. Like, that's super funny.
So funny. I just imagine Jimbo sitting at home watching Tigers games and just like he sees a chest protector and he's like, throws it on, continues watching.
I know, I can for sure see that. And for anyone just joining, we do have the title called the National Preview because we are doing a small preview to the National today with more previews to come in the future. So stay tuned. But for now, we are talking about sports card memories from our commenters on Instagram and people in the chat right now, because why not? Awesome to hear people's stories on cards. Broken Curse Ball. Going to my LCS local card shop in 2011, bought one pack of Bowman Platinum for $5. He could not pick it out himself. They selected it for him/her. Packed a gold bright. Oh, so Nate, have you ever seen the word packed? You know how people like, I didn't ever hear that term because it's always been pulled for me all these years.
Yeah.
I never heard packed until probably 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, when it is a couple of my, either one really close high school friend or two, Ed from Instagram. Have you ever heard that term before to refer to it as like pulling a card?
I have, not often, but I have.
I feel like that term comes from like video games, because both the people I feel like that I talked to, like one was really into FIFA and one was really into Madden. When you like do like the ultimate team thing, I feel like I see video game streamers refer to it as packing a card, especially when they have now like started open traditional cards. So I don't know. It's just that's just a word that like I never heard in my life before 2 years ago. I've been collecting cards for the last 13 years, 14 years now. So I don't know. I was just asking. Packed a gold Bryce Harper auto number to 50. Biggest pull I've ever had. Call my friends freaking out. I was 12 at the time and Harper was on top of the world. Could you imagine being 12?
Amazing.
And pulling that? Unbelievable.
I'm a little bit salty because I was out of the age of buying like baseball cards anymore in 2011. So like,
well, you didn't have to be a scrub. You could have been like me.
Yeah. And we'll get around to that. I'm just saying, it's like, why did it have to be that time? Why couldn't I still be into it so I could have got Mike Trout's, Harper's?
Colt Bram, my favorite sports card memory is easy. My father and I always went to flea markets. One day we found a whole table full of Michael Jordan memorabilia and cards. He knew how much I loved Jordan and bought the entire table of stuff for $20. Wow. About a year ago, I found the cards in an old box I used to store my Jordan collectibles. The cards were mostly junk wax era, but I found that upper deck Jordan and Kobe card and sent it into PSA just before Kobe's tragic death. It got a PSA 8 and I couldn't be happier with it. The card reminds me of my father every time I see it. And it's priceless in my collection. The best cards aren't always the most valuable. The best cards are the ones with the greatest stories / memories. That is 100% true. A lot of my favorite cards are ones from quite some time ago, or ones that remind me of, certain moments in time throughout my life. And I 100% agree with that. Indie Boom Baby Cards, which is Brett's longtime SlabStox Live viewer. When my mom got me a George Brett rookie card for Christmas when I was a kid, I'm named after him.
That's sweet.
I love that. I saw a comment and that was awesome. That was a really good one. Cool Hand, the Luka Boom of 2020. This was one of the only comments I think that was really like super related to maybe like how the market's changed in the last 2 to 3 years, which I think is very telling too. Like for the people that will take the time to comment their favorite memory, it doesn't have to do with the money that people have made, right, Nate?
Correct.
And that goes the same with me too. Like I never would sit here and say, "Oh, my favorite memory was buying those Mbappes and selling them for more, and then buy more Mbappes and selling those for more." Like I didn't even think about that until literally like seeing like a comment like this. I'm not saying this is a bad comment too. The Luka boom of 2020 could just be an excited, phenomenon moment of sports cards, which is true. I mean, that was definitely an unprecedented time of seeing cards explode like crazy. It has nothing to do with Cool Hand. Cool Hand, I really appreciate the comment. I'm just saying from like the making money standpoint, like there's very little of that at all. This is a good one. Jimbro cards. Jimbo we just referenced. My favorite memory is when Nate called me to tell me that he wants. Okay, well, Nate called and asked him to join the Digging Corners podcast. How about that, Nate? How does it make you feel?
That was one of the best options I've done, because doing a podcast with Jimbo is very fun, and it's a nice it's a nice way to talk about baseball in a more in-depth way, without like boring the people around me. Like I could talk to you about baseball and you'll enjoy it, but there is still an extent where you'd just be like, all right, I got other things to do, Nate. I don't care about random dudes WRC plus,
I listen, but I'm not Jimbo.
It's like anytime you talk to me about F1, it's like, yeah, I find it interesting. I listen and I enjoy it, but I'm still not like gonna like dive deep into Pierre Gasly.
Yeah, no, I got you. I understand the same way.
Yep.
From 420 Amsterdam, I broke with Cyrus 2020 and had Napoli spot for $35. I hit a Maradona 7 out of 10 auto. That was a very big hit. Congratulations. And another big hit from Jal P. Wiss, pulling the Wander 1987 auto on my 21st birthday, which seems to be within the last 3 months. So happy birthday. 3 to 4 months around there. Happy birthday. And one of my sports card memories, I'll share it right now because there's too many to share and I could probably sit here for hours. But I pulled a Bobby Orr Upper Deck Ice on card auto number 5 on my 21st birthday. Also, right before we went to the Brewers game.
That was electric.
That was electric. I actually want to try to go back and find the video today to see if I could like at least post some screenshots in here, but I don't know. I didn't see it in our videos tab.
I thought it was an Instagram live.
It was an Instagram live, which would have been posted in the videos tab on Instagram now, but I didn't see it, so I'd have to scroll back and probably try to look in our main feed, which would take a long time. But yeah, so it is a very good moment. It's very exciting. I mean, I was collecting hockey pretty hard that summer around my 21st birthday. I still have a bunch of the cards. I mean, I still have this card. I still have a ton of the other ones I bought, and I have more hockey I've been picking up now. And I used to play all the time as a kid. Played until like 6th grade, until I changed to basketball due to height reasons. That worked out pretty well. Then I started playing more hockey after I stopped playing basketball. But yeah, it's just very exciting. It reminds me a lot of my childhood anytime I have hockey cards, which is why I love collecting them too and buying them. And obviously, basically anything I collect, I also sell some stuff of. But like for the most part, I do have a ton of hockey cards I never sold from that summer. Jakey Zager, favorite sports card memory. I took a Darius Kasparaitis World Junior card to a signing of him. I was like 8 at the time. I had to have my dad take it to him because I was so scared of him at the time. He noticed I was scared and played along with it. But by the time we were walking out, he came out and gave me a hug and said, "There's nothing to be scared of. I'll never forget that." Haha. That's a good memory. That's really cool.
Now I do have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know who that is?
I was going to say some hockey player.
That makes sense.
I don't know, but it is a hockey player. For the Islanders back in the day.
Huh.
Yeah, actually never heard of him.
Well, the pictures I'm seeing of him, I can see why he'd be scared.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would have to agree with that. There's one that has like a black eye in, no?
Yeah.
Pretty cool though. Yeah, Islanders and Penguins and Rangers, and then 1 year with the Avalanche. Played 11 games with the Avalanche, actually. I see. Oh, my dad knows who he is, though. He says the hip check. Played for the Rangers, says Jim. High chance cards. Without a doubt, my favorite sports card memory was getting to fly home to finally see my little brother's table set up at a show and picking up a Jason Tatum rated rookie PSA 10 from him. That's super cool. That was probably my single favorite comment here. I don't know how either brother maybe got into cards or got the other brother into cards. But however it happened, to see that is a pretty cool, pretty special thing. And like I said, family for me has so much to do with just all the sports cards and collecting and all the memories throughout the years. So whenever I see those, I can relate to a lot. And then the last comment we have to share is from my dad, taking my 10-year-old, I don't know who that is, to the local card shows every month and watching him grow with the hobby. Yes, I feel like I have grown in height, as the hobby has also grown in height over the last 14 years now. But that is definitely how I got super deep into cards. Was I made my dad drive me to card shows, and on the way home we would go get Qdoba every single time, which is probably why I was so chunky in middle school. Now I think about it, go to a lot of card shows, eat a lot of Qdoba.
Wait, were you chunky? I don't remember that.
I was pretty chunky in like 7th and 8th grade. I thinned out a lot come high school. Well, come end of high school, but yeah, no, I was a little chunky.
Huh.
But yeah, no,
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I wasn't like super chunky. I don't know if you're expecting me to be like rolling around, but I was just pretty big. I mean, I was tall too, though. I was tall also. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'd walk through. I remember middle school with my Beckett manuals. It's funny to say, right? Like books. I'm talking books, not just magazines. Like legit books in my pocket.
The ones you rent from the library.
Yeah, well, I bought them from Barnes and Noble, and then I stuck in my pockets, and I'd walk around school, and I literally just like sit in class with that thing like underneath my desk, like looking down, like sticking little post-it notes in there for the card show that weekend to see which cards I was going to go buy. Still got the Kobe, the KD rookies, the Aaron Rodgers rookie. Just over in the other room right now. Definitely never selling those.
Think of how much money you could have spent on cards that you wasted by buying the Beckett's instead of renting them from the library for free.
I mean, I didn't think that deep at the time. Next slide here is our favorite hobby memories. I already kind of shared a little bit of just some of my hobby memories, but Nate, why don't you lead us off? And I've got a couple to share after.
All right. Well, we're going to start off with a little bit of a story. You good with that? A story you know.
Yeah, but others might not know.
No, but maybe others might not know. Yeah. So the hobby is interesting for me because it is very much a circle. And when I was a kid, I was into cards. And when I say into cards, I mean as into cards as you could possibly get for a little boy. Renting the Beckett price guide for either basketball or football every single week from the library. We always had one of them at our house every week. Without a doubt, we'd go back in, you'd renew your rental or whatever instead of having to go check it in and then get it back, right? And we always had that. I was always digging through my cards constantly. They're in such bad shape because I was always touching my cards, counting them, sorting by team, sorting by set, putting the Barry Sanders, loved Barry Sanders back in the day, the Barry Sanders and the Brett Favres and stuff in their own binder pages and having pages and pages of Barry Sanders and Brett Favre's. Like, I loved it. I brought up the Tim Couch earlier because that is a fond memory of mine where I found a $4 Tim Couch card in a Lego bucket. Another very fun thing for a little kid, Legos. And it was one of those like, wow, I can't believe I just found this sweet Tim Couch rookie, you know? Well, then we got to one year, my mom did one garage sale. Only time in her life she did a garage sale. And I put card packs out, you know, like we're talking Jeff George front card type of thing, where it's like, I got to put a nice card in the front so people buy it type of shenanigans from young Nathan. And I think I might have had one other customer, but the one customer I remember, and you guys have probably heard this, is sitting on the screen with me, Aaron. It may have been his first cards. It may not have been his first cards. I'm not 100% sure. But he bought cards from me. And then, you know, that little boy ended up spending more money on Legos, video games and stuff. And you get out of cards, which is why I was reminiscing about 2011. Because it's like, man, I was too old. I was spending money on video games and stuff and not cards like Aaron would have been doing in his teenage years. And so missed out on that. But then you come back around to the year of 2017.
Yeah.
2017, 2016. What was our first national we went to?
Well, we went to the national together in 2015. You might
Okay.
have the timeline. Yes, we went to the national together in 2015,
So
but you were just like a
2015,
pack ripper.
I wasn't really into cards 2015, but Aaron invited me to the national. I went and I bought a box of Bowman, and that started my love for Bowman. And from there, Aaron got me back into cards. So the dude who bought the first pack from me, the little boy who was super into cards and then got out of it because of other things, gets back into it because of the guy who bought a pack from him. And I just love that story because it just shows that, like, we all have those friends that you get started on something. Like, you started me back on cards, and I love it. There's some things I don't enjoy about cards, right? But like Bowman Chrome and stuff like that, I love, 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 love it. And it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be me buying a 50-cent Bowman Chrome card of a Brewers prospect just to have, just to snag it off of checkoutmycards.com and get it back into my possession. That's the type of stuff I love. And I wouldn't have that if it wasn't for Aaron. And I'm sure you can all think of plenty of friends. Either you're that friend or you have a friend that got you back in the hobby and you got addicted to this thing because of that one person. And that one person is Aaron. So that's my story.
There we go. Thank you for sharing. I've got one story to piggyback off of Nate's, which I wasn't planning on sharing, and then I'll go into a couple of different smaller ones that were like smaller moments that were just like super exciting, I'd say. So, yes, that is true. I got Nate back into cards after he first got me into cards, and I collected the entire time. I collected from when I was, well, I will say this. Nate probably did sell me my first card because I do remember going over to the garage sale. And then the time that I really got like into it super hard, I probably just had cards until I moved to Minnesota was 2008, when my brother and I went to Target to buy some blaster boxes of 2008 Topps football because we just moved to Minnesota from Wisconsin, and Brett Favre was on the cover. And that was like a no-brainer. It was like, come on, Brett Favre in Minnesota, we got to get it type of thing. And then we ripped the packs, and I started put together the set. I would pull a jersey card. I'd sell it on eBay. And then I pulled a Matt Ryan. That was like my most valuable card at the time. The no helmet short print, which is now my goal to buy that card back. I still haven't done it yet. Because I traded it for something. Who knows what it was. But I ended up buying a Kobe rookie at the same show. But my point is that I then got into cards super hard. And I was doing it all the time. But I was doing it like on my own. I had no friends that were buying cards. I had no... Even Nate at the time, obviously, Nate said he wasn't buying cards. So like my brother did a very little bit with me after that point. And then it's just really my dad that had taken me to shows. But it was always what Nate would say too, is like, I never saw cards as something that was probably cool to other people ever. Like if anyone remembers collecting back when you were in middle school, if you're my age, 23 right now, or even high school, then you know that you were not the cool kid in school, or that would definitely not make you the cool kid in school if people knew. So like no one knew. Except for like my very couple close friends, like very, very few close friends. And that's about it. It got to the point to where senior year in high school, I started to actually get more, like gain some more friends in some friend groups, got voted basketball captain, all this other stuff, to the point to where I started to lose the, what?
Said nice humble brag.
I'm just saying it's just something that I'm not even saying it in like a humble brag. I'm saying it's something that distracted me from cards is the point. There was never a point that I I guess physically gave up cards because I thought that I had something necessarily better to do. I gave it up because I thought it was potentially looked at as dumb. And it only had I only gave up cards. And when I say give up cards, I don't necessarily mean like throwing them all out or like not buying anything else. I'm sure I bought a couple things along the way, but it was like I barely did them senior year of high school and then into just the first semester of or maybe even as the full year of freshman college. And it was definitely because of I had some other things going on at the time. Had a girlfriend that I was like, I don't really want to do the cards, this and that. And then that kind of got to the point to where 2017 came, ex-girlfriend. No, but 2017 came, and when I'm a sophomore in college. And the hilarious thing is that Nate, I don't know how much Nate remembers all that stuff, but he said nationally, he's thinking 2017. I said, no, it's 2015 because I got you in the cards. The whole point is that after my freshman year of college, the dude sitting on the other side of the camera from me is the reason why I got back into cards super hard. Because once 2017 hit, Nate came to my parents' house for the summer and said, "Hey, Aaron."
Well, for a week of the summer.
Okay. In the summer. You came
Okay.
to the house in the summer for a week. And you're like, dude, you still like do the card thing? I was like, not really, whatever. And I was like, I just don't really think that, people would probably like care that much or whatever. So I gave it up. But then Nate says, dude, you should start doing it again. I said, yeah, I did like it. Like that's my favorite thing since I was a kid. And my mom would tell me all the time. I'm like, yeah, whatever, parents telling you like something, but you don't want to admit it, whatever. So Nate gets me back in by telling me about a baseball prospect by the name of Forrest Whitley. And then the other one was Ronald Acuna Jr., who I didn't buy. And I buy tons of Forrest Whitley, and it jumps me back in like super hard. So there was like probably about a year and a half span to where I really didn't touch cards too much. And then jump back in very, 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 very hard up until now. So that was the overall story coming off of Nate's piggyback. That is just a very key memory to just my card journey in general. But there's a bunch of other smaller moments along the way that were super important too. But all I gotta say is thank you, Nate, for doing that, because this would never be a thing.
Can you imagine what our lives would look like right now if
No.
none of those moments had happened?
No, dude, I'd probably be sitting in an accounting firm thinking, what the heck am I doing right now? Like that's exactly what I'd be doing. And no, it's amazing how this actually has all came together. Definitely a meant to be from a standpoint of like getting to this point.
I mean,
Like,
I likely wouldn't be married if it wasn't for being able to work from anywhere.
Yeah, I just think in general there's a billion things that wouldn't have worked out, right? I mean, that obviously for you is a very important part, but it's just like everything. It's just crazy how it actually just all happened along the way. Definitely some meant to be's. And then 2 moments after that I just want to point out. One, this was like one of my favorite things that ever happened on a live stream. We buy this box of 2019 Bowman Jumbo Hobby the day it releases. We bought it on eBay of all places, but I'm in Germany. And it's right when Bowman releases. We're writing articles up the wazoo because we started SlabStox at this point. And I tell Nate, I'm like, Nate, I need you to rip this thing for me. And like, there's no way you'd ever hear Aaron telling Nate to rip him packs in 2019. This is like when I think that Nate is still super novice and like would not handle my cards well at all, right? Like I barely let anyone touch my cards. To let Nate touch them was probably like blasphemous at this time, right?
Well, you also have to know a little backstory is that we went to a card show in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
And we were all looking for different guys, and I bought a bunch of like Ronald Acuna Topps Heritage cards, just 25-cent cards, and multiple I proceeded to drop out of my hand and drop on their corners, which is where the name Dinging Corners comes from.
There you go. And so I sent Nate the box, and I'm in a hotel room, and my parents and my brother in the other hotel room. There's just 2 next to each other, and Nate's live streaming this opening so I can watch it and other people can see the preview of the set. And Nate's whole goal here was to talk about the players he's hitting because we're talking so much about prospects. And I just watched this video back today, actually, and I don't think I can play it right now, but maybe I'll try to repost the SlabStox story if anyone really wants to watch it. And Nate opens this pack, and he like pulls a player. It's like Adam Hazley. And my favorite thing is when you pull Adam Hazley and you say, Adam Hazley, not a fan. You move on to the next one. It was like no reasoning, no anything. You just this random dude. And the funny thing is, dude, is 2 days ago I saw Adam from Vilgraphs took a picture with him. So now all I think of when I say Adam Hazley is Nate. Nate for no reason just slandering this man, saying not a fan, not giving any reasoning.
Well, he was the pick before Castanheira. I think he was number 8. Caston was number 9 in that draft. So,
well, either way. And then the very next card or 2 cards after that, it's the Wander Franco purple auto, which Nate just yells Wander Franco purple auto so loud. I'm screaming in this hotel room, banging on the wall of the room, going Wander Franco. And it was just electric. And the hilarious thing was at the very end of the video, Nate's like, I really regret not buying sleeves. So this kid pulls me the Wander Franco purple auto, and he has no card sleeves there. I'm like texting him, like, dude, Dave, set that thing down. Don't let anyone touch it. Go buy sleeves right now. And it was just like a very early on SlabStox memory that I definitely won't forget. Is awesome.
Good stuff.
Hard to have anything beat though the charity night from last summer we did for Camp Kesem, and just I mean, I've talked about probably enough times where people who are watching now have heard about it, but within like the span of 1 month, we went from raising $10,000 to $125,000 for Camp Kesem, organization that's involved in college, sending kids to camp for free whose parents have or had cancer. And it was like just starting with six different companies / sponsors involved, to having over 50, to raising that much money, to having hundreds of people buy cards through it, to having thousands of people watch the streams. Was just incredible. And I'm so excited to do it again this year is my point, because this year we will have details coming very, very soon. I'm like locking down different things throughout these days, trying to line everything up. And we will have announcements coming out via YouTube, via Instagram, via newsletter, because we are doing the SlabStox and Camp Kesem charity night, which is actually going to turn into a kind of like charity couple weeks leading up to the national. It's going to be an extremely fun time. And I hope to have everyone involved. Please stay tuned. If you want to help in any possible way, please subscribe to our newsletter list on SlabStox.com. Please follow us on Instagram. Please come back and watch YouTube videos, because there is going to be some big ways for everyone to get involved this year. And it's not going to cost you much money if you do want to get involved. There's going to be a million different ways to support and send these kids to camp. And it's just the best thing that I think that has happened to the sports card hobby since I've been in it, which has been my whole life pretty much, because it's affecting people who aren't even collecting cards. Like, you know, I've gotten a lot of messages over the years, which I'm super grateful and thankful for people messaging saying, hey, thank you so much for X, for Y, for Z, you know, helping me get into cards, helping me learn about this. And that's very awesome and very rewarding. But to see it go even past those people into kids who really need the help is super special. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. And the awesome part is all the people who are then thanking me for giving the cards are the ones that are helping contribute to this too, to give back. And it's awesome. So I don't really have much more to say on it at this moment, other than please stay tuned for this year's SlabStox and Camp Kesem charity event, because it's going to hopefully be really big again and have a lot of people involved, and it'll be a very fun time.
Good stuff.
All right, that wraps up our sports card memories moment here. We will definitely circle back to some of these comments here if there are any more, Nate, that you see from people commenting some of their memories. I didn't see too many more. But before jumping into the next segment, which is the national pre-show, preview pre-show, meaning that we're just going to talk about very basic things in this episode, because we, you know, most of this episode was about sports card memories. And then we will have more in depth, like, hey, like, you know, how much money should you bring? Oh, obviously we can't tell you how much money you should bring, but stuff like that, budgeting, how many booths are there, all these different things that you might want to know, tips and tricks for the national. So, but before that, tomorrow Nate is ripping soccer again. You know how Nate loves ripping soccer. He actually is. It's fun watching you, Nate. Like, you do a really good job with it. I think people like watching it. And 6 p.m. Eastern
People
time,
like watching a moron.
It is like watching a moron, which is I think why people like watching it. I'm just messing with you. Your words, not mine. 6 p.m. Eastern time on Whatnot, and for the new 2021 Topps Chrome hobby set. And then on Thursday, actually that's on Wednesday now, it's not on Thursday anymore, I apologize, I'm actually going to be leaving for Indianapolis on Thursday, so it has to be on Wednesday we are doing a throwback break for 2010 to 2012 Topps Platinum Football, which is sets that I was collecting back when I was a kid, and they come with 3 autographs per box. Blast from the past, Tim Tebow autos, Cam Newton autos, Russell Wilson autos potentially, and a bunch of other skill position players too. It should be a great time. Should be pretty affordable packs, and 9 total autographs will be pulled. So it should be a really, really exciting stream for a throwback break. And I hope to see you all there and Whatnot Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. All right, here we go. The national preview. So where's the national this year? It's in Atlantic City. That is over in New Jersey. This is the first time it's been held there since 2000 and I think it was 2016 was the last time it was there, the year I graduated from school, and I was actually not at that. I've never been in Atlantic City. I think I've been to 6 nationals now, around there. Maybe this is my 7th, and I've never been in Atlantic City. I've been in Cleveland, Chicago, and then Chicago numerous times. But this, I hope, is going to shape up to a great show. I've never been there, so I don't know what to expect from a venue standpoint, so I can't comment on that. But it is July 27th to the 31st, and here is the floor plan, which looks massive. Nate, does this not look like bigger than what it was maybe in Chicago? Maybe it's just because it's zoomed out. And it
does look pretty big, but also it's kind of interesting because you have to go all the way through Where's the front doors? To the left?
I have nope autograph pavilions over there. It might just be right in front. I have no idea.
Because it's interesting that the Box Breakers Pavilion is just all the way to the right.
Way down here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I doubt that the entrance is over there. I doubt it's right where the autograph pavilion is, so it has to be in the middle. Oops, it's all blue. You get it to not be blue. Oh well. I'll flip to the next one. This is zooming in on the corporate booths, which you've got Tops, Fanatics, you got Zero Cool down there, Blowout, Panini, Heritage Auctions, PWCC's over. I saw it. It's over here. You got SGC. Should be a lot of different companies in there, obviously. So check those out if you want. But we are somewhere in this frame. I kind of did like a zoom thing, go from this way zoomed out, more zoomed in. And for the third year in a row at the National, we will have a booth, and we are the red square right there, 1461. We are right by the bathrooms and the concession stands again. Nate, I feel like we do that on purpose, kind of.
Dude, that the corner booth in Chicago by the bathrooms is the most clutch thing in the entire world.
I love that booth, by the way. Like that space with all the space to the side. You're not on the concrete. It's like on the carpet. Super nice.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy it. But yes, we are booth 1469. We will be set up in Atlantic City.
Super close to Leaf trading cards.
I know. What?
I said, go get my fix of Leaf trading cards.
I mean, I guess if that's what you're into. We also got Upper Deck there for some hockey cards. And right across the way there, the orange box, if you see the orange box that's just connected to our booth, that's going to be Ryan, Card Collector 2. So we're going to be set up in the same quadrant this year. It should be an awesome time. Hopefully y'all can come by and see Ryan, see us, buy some cards from either of us if you want to. If you don't want to buy cards, just come say hi. We don't care. You come and say hi. It'll be an awesome time. And then also, and I also got some texts about this too. Bazooka Tom said, I heard Lou say they were calling your area the Card Talk Corner, which I'm a little offended by. Because I think it's my idea saying, Lou, you should get close to us. And then Lou said, okay, I'll circle you. Because if you see over here, 1061 and 961 on the right, that is where Lou, Tyler, and Card Talk is from 1:30 to 7 p.m. So we are probably like, it looks like, 3 rows away, but pretty close together, or 4 rows away. And it's Ryan and us and SlabStox and then Card Talk over there. So definitely up by the bathrooms will be a party. It'll be a great time. As for inventory, because like last year, like we had some cards and everything, but this year we'll have a lot more. We will be having a little exhibit for our Flip Quest cards we've been buying every Sunday night, and there'll be a good amount of baseball. We're trying to get some really interesting cards in there, like some tennis ones. We got a Jay-Z card. We're trying to like target some interesting ones like that, and then we will have a slew of Formula One cards that we have just gotten in and are grading with SGC. So that should be super exciting. Very excited to bring a lot of those. A lot of raw cards too, Formula One specifically. And then I'm sure we'll have a couple different basketball and baseball ones, or basketball and football ones there as well. But it'll be a great time. I'm super excited. So please circle that on your floor plan up there by the bathrooms. We're 1461 and Ryan's 1560. And it'll be a fun time.
Real quick, Aaron, concerning Gabriel's comment, I think we need to make some ground rules here. Number 1, PayPal only. Number 2, you touch it, you buy it.
I feel like for people listening to this later that won't be able to see this comment, they need to know what you're.
That's fair. Gabriel said, take a poop and then pick up some first Bowmans from Nate. So PayPal only, please. No cash. I'm not taking any cash from those grubby hands. And you touch one of the cards, you're buying it. And you'll have to pay whatever price I say. So if I say, $2,000 over comp, sorry.
I gotta point out that Jim is commenting a lot about the Atlantic City venues. Not great things, which also I'm not very excited to drive across the country. Nate flying and then driving across the country to get there. But I don't. As for the comment, it will be the last time it will be held there. Also, I'm not sure if you know that for fact, but as what I know as a dealer is we got actually something in the mail that lets us vote on the next 3 locations. And it is possible it could be in Atlantic City again, then not next year, which is Chicago, but the year after that. So it's for sure in Chicago next year, but the year after we got to pick if we wanted to be in Chicago, Cleveland, or Atlantic City.
Tell me you'd pick Chicago.
No, we voted for Cleveland. Because I don't want, you've never been to Cleveland. It's a great venue. It's the best venue for the National outside of not knowing what Atlantic City is. Cleveland was actually a super fun National, and I really want to go back, and it was taken off the calendar because the IX Center was suspended for COVID. It got bought by someone, reopened, but we went Chicago, Cleveland, Chicago. Sorry, Nate, for having to go a little bit further. Dude, you're gonna like it. You're gonna, if it gets picked, you're gonna like it. But what I will say is that, yeah, chances are is that Atlantic City probably doesn't come back. It is so far off the grid for so many people, and there's not really a great way to fly into it either.
If you want to do a casino centric thing, why don't you just do Vegas?
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I mean, I also don't know. And Jim just said it's a rundown city, Atlantic City. That is. I'm not really sure. I mean, I know what they've done it in the past, so they probably were, and there might have been a deal where like it was supposed to be COVID year. It was supposed to be 2020, and then it got delayed or postponed and like eventually canceled. So maybe there's a deal. It's like they have to hold it there, right? One more year for sure in the contract. But I think there is going to be a lot of pushback and voting against it. So there we are, though. Don't forget booth 1461 up by the bathrooms. And hey, it says keep clear there. So I think that means we've got some nice open space next to us. I don't know. We'll see. As for the days and the times of the show, Wednesday is the preview night, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is like every single year. The Wednesday night is not like a full day, obviously 4 hours, but it is definitely the time I feel like that a lot of people are trying to race in and get the deals. Nate, you want to explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, the deals. Dollar boxes are your friends. I feel like I've seen a lot of big name people come around on dollar boxes, humble themselves a little bit from looking at $1,000 cards to looking at dollar cards. And you can find some sweet cards that you weren't knowing you were looking for. Like last year, Ohtani top silver pack, 2019 top silver pack blue out of 150. Sweet card. Would never have been looking for it. Found it, bought it for $1. Amazing.
There you go. Yes, definitely. You gotta put in the work early to get, I'd say, like some of the best deals. But if you are looking for like, deals in terms of like the bigger cards, I don't think people are gonna be pressed to sell Wednesday night if they have, let's say, high prices on their big items. They got full 4 days after that show to shop around with different people that are going to come through as the weekend approaches too. So don't be surprised if you don't walk in the first day and the price tags on, let's say, the $500 to whatever you want to pay, $50,000 cards are like strong. There is a lot of people, I think that, and we'll talk about this more in future episodes. I want to point out that I did see a comment here from Matthew, which was, this will be my first national. So stoked to be going. We're stoked that you're going too. Need tips. We will definitely cover tips in a bunch of leading up videos leading up to the national. We're going to do some more live streams like this where we talk about more in-depth stuff, not just like the high level information, but I guess my one tip right now is don't be afraid to offer. Nate is very afraid to offer on cards, especially if a card is
I'm a coward.
Nate is a coward. Exactly what he said. Especially if the card is like clearly overpriced. Like you can tell when people like know that maybe they have a card that they're overpricing, or they just are, all their cards are priced high. I would say go for it. As long as you're not rude, like don't be rude and say, hey, why is your card this much priced when comps are this? It's like, well, there are people that will tell you, hey, I got to pay booth fees, or, hey, I only want to sell the card if I sell it for this much, which is I say that too. I mean, I don't like overprice my stuff like because I want to, beat people over the head. But the point is like, there's certain cards I just don't want to sell unless I get X amount of money for it, even if the market value is $500 or less. That's the type of card there. Okay, fine. I don't buy it because I don't want to overpay. I even say as if I'm selling a card, that's okay. Go find a different card. Like I literally say like, that's okay if you don't buy it, type of thing. My point is always like, don't be afraid to offer. Just be nice to people.
Real quick question.
It'll go a long way. Go ahead.
Say I'm walking around. There's a couple cards I like, say $400 or $500 range. Say it's $500 card, but they got it listed for $625. And then I notice maybe a $30 card in their thing that's listed at $60. Like that's the type of stuff that I run into at these shows where I'm like, well, if they're going to charge double the price for a $30 card, I don't want to have to deal with them at all. It's just an absolute pain in the butt. Like if you're close, it's one thing. If you're drastically over, especially on cheap stuff, like those are the types of people that I get pricing your cards high, but I don't even have a desire to engage with them because it's so outrageous.
I guess I'll say this. Let me say this. If it's like a card that's not easy, okay, so a $30 card, when you say that, I'm thinking this is a card that you could hop on the eBay and just buy a raw card at like the actual value of it, or maybe $5 higher. That's the type of card that, like, yeah, I wouldn't engage an offer on something like that. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, if there's a card you probably won't find at many other booths, and there's not many listings available on the different marketplaces that will allow you to add this thing, and maybe it's $200 over the last sale from like 2 months ago, and maybe it's numbered out of like 100 or something. Like, I would just say, like, go ahead and offer it, but like, I get what you're saying too, Nate, that if I walked in and had all of our $30 Hamiltons priced at $60, that'd be outrageous. Why would, like, I do see what you're saying.
And that's the problem, because like I've made deals before, the Welvy Martes and the Luis Matos and stuff that I bought at Dallas a couple years ago. Like, I didn't settle for the price they first asked for, made some deals. But you go through these booths and you start noticing the people that, like, I just don't want to use my time haggling for a card if I know certain cheaper cards are just so severely overpriced. I'm like, these people just aren't in the same, they're not living in the same world I'm living in.
That's okay. But if you're not going to offer on a card because you don't want to maybe like offend someone, I think that's a different scenario.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring up that there are occasionally differences in why I won't offer than just, oh, I don't want to because it's awkward.
Yes, I got you. Another thing I'm going to say is, as a dealer, if you're going to set up there, biggest recommendation is price all of your cards. Price them all. I don't even care if you do price them double. Just price them, because I can't tell you the amount of times that I take maybe like the 30 minutes in like a day or something. I can go walk around the show and try to find a couple cards I want to buy. And if there's cards out there that I really want and there's no price stickers on them, and you're talking to someone and you don't stop talking to that person for the next like 5 minutes, I am for sure walking away. There's no question I'm walking away. If I at least see a price sticker, then I can say, oh man, maybe I should wait it on, make an offer if it's close enough to my, the price I want. I cannot believe the amount of people that still don't price their cards with stickers out there, however you want to price them. I mean, you got to do it. You for sure got to price your cards if you want to have a very successful show, I'd say, and good experience too as a seller. Otherwise, it's just wasting a lot of people's times, especially if you don't know the prices once people ask to, because that is a common thing.
The guys that go, oh, let me look it up at eBay. It's like, come on, man.
I kind of just walk away at that point. All right. And then also getting back to the schedule. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are all full days, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. By the way, if you have a VIP pass or an early access pass, which I'll show in a second, you can get in 30 minutes early every single day. So if it's 4 p.m. on Wednesday, you can get in at 3:30. And then the only other day that's different is Sunday, which is 10 to 5, so an hour earlier. Here are the ticket prices. So general admission ticket is $25 if you buy it online ahead of time. It's $30 on site. $30 times 5 days is $150. If you wait all the way to the event, you're going all 5 days. Clearly, if you're not going all 5 days, and you're going like 1 day or 2 days or even 3 days, just go buy the general admission ticket either online or at the point of purchase. And then you can get the VIP package, which gets you like some free VIP autographs, which are from players that I guess I didn't really recognize, so they're free for a reason. It's $170, which does get you in early, but they also have an early access pass, which is like $150 or $160, which is every day. Plus, you get to get in the 30 minutes early if you do value that 30 minutes. Given Nate's dollar box finds last year, that 30 minutes super valuable. At least
I'm telling you have 30 minutes at the dollar box I was at last year. You spent $100 and you just paid for your entire week's worth of VIP packages.
And a lot of other stuff too.
And an extra probably like $700 worth of cards.
Yes, so a lot of other stuff. So it could be worth it. I would say if you are going all the days, definitely buy the early access. Like, I would just do it. I mean, it's worth paying a little bit more because you also don't have to wait in the insane general admission line too. The big line the first day. I looked up on the website for the National, and the 2 hotels that are still available right now that are connected to not connected to the convention center, but like that the National is working with to have maybe like a group rate or something, or where other people will be staying, is the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Atlantic City, which is 1.2 miles away from the event. All the ones that are within, I would say, like very manageable walking distance. I'm sure some people will walk this far, but those are all sold out, and it's around $259 a night, it looks like right now. And then the Harrah's Atlantic City is 2.5 miles away and is more expensive. But those are the ones that are connected to the event, not the event center, but in relation to the event that you can still get right now if you do want to go. So yes, it is, this is not going to be a cheap trip to go to, especially in Atlantic City with not great means to get into there. You either have to, if you fly in Atlantic City, the tickets are outrageously expensive because it's a small airport. If you fly into New York, you fly to Philadelphia, you have to then get transport to the place, which will either take some time or take some money. So just be aware of that if you are planning on going. Nate, I'm really, really, really interested to see how it be in Atlantic City is going to affect the attendance and the overall like feeling of the National, right? Like being in Chicago, walking into that Rosemont Convention Center, you just know it's the National. You know a ton of people are going to be there. People come from all over the place. I haven't been here, so I just don't even know what to expect, I guess. I don't want to like say I'm like, oh, I'm not expecting it to be great. I'm just like, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll be flying from the West Coast to Chicago, which is way better than flying from the West Coast and then driving, which stinks. But flying from that to Chicago or flying East Coast to Chicago way easier than flying all the way across the United States to get there.
Yeah, which people would obviously have to do, and even from the South too would take some time. The last thing to share here is the autograph information, because it's more than just like what I said, the free autographs. I'm going to just go and breeze through this really quick. I will have to say that I'm not really into the autograph scene at all. I've never went to a show and said I have to go and get autographs from people that are coming. I've actually never once done that. The only in-person autographs I've even gotten is like from Donald Driver at a car dealership or Pick and Save or something like that. So which was cool. But I just want to at least share this because it is a big reason why the National attracts a lot of collectors and even just fans of sports. They don't have there are a lot of people that literally come just for this, because I will say the name list is pretty good. So can you see this, Nate?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is the TriStar Productions that puts on the autograph sessions at the National. And you'll see right away, you've got Bobby Hall, hockey legend, Odell Beckham Jr. It's his first national appearance. Bernie Parent, who I don't know, sorry, diehard hockey players, if he's amazing. But you got Reggie Jackson, Ricky Henderson, Dave Winfield, Joe Theismann, Tim Raines, Burt Blyleven, who used to announce for the Twins, he might still, Wade Boggs, Andre Reed, twice. You okay, Nate?
Yep.
All right, good. Charlie Ward, Paul Pierce, Nate, first national appearance.
I already met him. Don't need to do it twice.
Michael Irvin, Ed Reed, Tony Dorsett, Eric Dickerson, Bill Walton, Clyde Frazier, Patrick Renna from Sandlot, awesome. Jim Thome.
Thome?
What?
Thome.
I was going to say, I felt like I said that wrong. Thome, yeah. Paul Molitor, Brian Bosworth, Ted Simmons, Dave Robinson from the Packers, Rainey White.
You know who Bosworth is?
Yeah, he's the Boz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
All right, Randall Cunningham. I just read the name off the list. Randall Cunningham, Adrian Peterson, Emmett Smith, Juan Marichal. Is that how you say it?
Oh man, how do you say that? Yeah, I think so.
Lenny Moore, Jack Youngblood, Ray Lewis, Joe Green, Andrew Jones, Jack Morris.
Not Brian Leach.
Brian Leach. Dale Murphy, Dan Issel, the Missile, Daryl Strawberry. Wow, that is a very interesting one. The Operator, U.S. Navy SEAL, Robert J. O'Neill. I think I've seen random stuff signed by him before. That's not a sport figure at all, but that's very interesting. Goose Gossage, Barry Sanders.
Aaron, I gotta get a VIP pass now.
Dave Parker.
I'll get this signed.
Well, you would have to buy the autograph ticket. You do not get the free VIP autograph of Barry Sanders.
Well, son of a gun.
Dave Parker, Thurman Thomas, Jason Taylor, Vinny Testaverde, Jamal Lewis, Jim Kelly. This list, I feel like I could sit here all
it keeps going. Well, we get the point for sure.
There's a couple. Yeah, this actually is way longer than I thought when I was looking earlier. I would be sitting here. There's Chuck Liddell, even though Andrew got a free autograph from him. Or no, Jamil did, I think. Frank Gore, Floyd Mayweather, and then Michael Vick and Dan Marino and David Ortiz and Mariano Rivera and Joe Montana and Mike Piazza. The bottom of the list is just like loaded down there. But that's the point is that there are a lot of athletes coming to the event. So if you're into that type of thing, plan ahead, go look it up, figure out how you get the autograph tickets. I'm not going to be doing that, so I don't exactly know the exact process. I tried to read it, but it's definitely a little confusing. So it might take a little bit of time to research it. That's all we got now for our national preview. That was like the high level, high level, not like, I mean, other than a little bit of Nate and I going back and forth about dealers and prices and all that stuff. We can talk more. We'll talk more about what to expect in the future from all aspects. If it's buying, if it's selling at tables, what to expect if you walk up and try to sell cards, depending on which cards you have, stuff like that will definitely be covered in future episodes. And then also like after event activities, we can talk about too. And Matthew says those are extra costs than the VIP list. Correct? Yes, that's 100% correct. The list is insane, and it is different than the VIP list, which is very small, 20 people. Maybe you get to pick 12. And I also don't know any of them, I think. But you do have to go online and figure out how to like buy the actual autograph tickets from. I don't know if you had to buy like a super VIP pass. Like, there's different packages that TriStar has and everything. I just want to thank everyone for coming to today's episode. If you did come, I know it's a little bit different, not talking sports card dad, not talking market trends, which we do a lot here, obviously. But it was a fun time for, I think, Nate and I to go back and forth about sports card memories that we had, read off some other people's, read off some of yours, and get ready for the national because I'm super excited. The last thing I have to say is that, please, if you do want to help in any way again with this year's Custom Cherry Night, just stay tuned for more information through Instagram, YouTube, and newsletters. Is going to be the most places we're going to talk about, which is pretty much all the places that people follow anyways. And it's going to be a great time again this year and should be pretty big. There's a lot more ways to get involved this year than last year. Some that are very easy and accessible for everyone to do, which was why we need strength in numbers this year for sure. So I can't wait to make that announcement. But other than that, please feel free to come back to our next national episodes with questions because we will field questions in those along with all the little tips and tricks we put together. Nate, anything else to add?
Nope. I'm good here. Nope.
That's it. All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming to tonight's SlabStox Live. Do really appreciate it. Make sure to check out Whatnot this week, Tuesday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to be back on YouTube Live Sunday at 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time for another Flip Course episode, which is number 22, where you buy more cards to take to the National. And hopefully you come to the National and check out the little exhibit because it'll be a very fun time. I hope everyone has a great rest of your night, and we will see you in the next stream.